Imagine waking up one day and finding out there are no more bananas, no chocolate, no morning coffee. Sounds impossible, right? But the truth is, some of our favorite foods are hanging by a thread, threatened by disease, climate change, and how we grow them. In this video, we're diving deep into the surprising and scary reasons why some foods are disappearing, and what that means for all of us. Stick around, because this is a wake-up call for your taste buds and for the planet. Bananas, they're the most popular fruit in the world, sweet, convenient, and full of nutrients. They've become a staple in diets across the globe. But here's something most people don't know. The banana you're eating today is in serious danger of disappearing. Almost every banana sold in stores is a Cavendish banana, and every single one is a clone of the other. That's right. They're genetically identical. While that consistency makes them easy to grow and ship, it also makes them incredibly vulnerable, because when a disease hits one Cavendish banana, it can hit all of them. And that's not just a theory, it's happening right now. A deadly fungus known as Panama disease is spreading across banana plantations worldwide. It infects the soil and attacks the plant's roots, and there's no known cure. Since Cavendish bananas lack genetic diversity, they have no natural defenses. Once it reaches a farm, the damage is almost impossible to stop. Scientists are now in a race against time, experimenting with crossbreeding, gene editing, and even wild banana species in hopes of creating a resistant variety. But developing a new banana that's both disease-resistant and tasty enough to replace the Cavendish is no easy task. The threat isn't just about losing a fruit. Millions of people depend on bananas for food and income. If the Cavendish goes extinct, it could cause major economic and agricultural disruptions. So the next time you peel a banana, think about this. We may be watching the slow extinction of one of the world's favorite foods, unless science finds a way to save it. And bananas aren't alone. Another favorite treat that could be in danger? Chocolate. Yes, chocolate. That rich, smooth, comforting treat we all love may be facing a bitter future. That's because chocolate comes from cacao trees, which are incredibly sensitive to changes in their environment. They need very specific conditions: humid temperatures, consistent rainfall, and shade. Right now, most of the world's cacao is grown in a narrow strip of land near the equator, primarily in West Africa. But here's the problem. Climate change is shifting those conditions. As temperatures rise and weather patterns become more unpredictable, the regions suitable for cacao farming are shrinking. Farmers are being forced to move to higher elevations, which aren't always available, or face dwindling yields, and that's just part of it. Cacao trees are also under threat from plant diseases and pests, which are becoming more aggressive in changing climates. One fungal disease, known as frosty pod rot, has already wiped out entire crops in Central and South America. Combine that with low profits for cacao farmers and limited access to technology or support, and it paints a grim picture. To make matters more complicated, the demand for chocolate is rising globally, especially in developing countries where chocolate consumption is still growing. So while more people are craving chocolate, the supply is getting harder to secure. Scientists and farmers are working together to find solutions, breeding more resilient cacao trees, developing better farming methods, and even experimenting with lab-grown chocolate. But the truth is, if these efforts fall short, chocolate could become rarer, more expensive, and someday even a luxury item. So next time you break off a piece of your favorite chocolate bar, savor it, because we might be heading toward a future where chocolate is no longer a daily indulgence, but a precious memory. And if the idea of losing bananas or chocolate wasn't bad enough, imagine a world without coffee. For millions of people, coffee is more than just a morning pick-me-up. It's a ritual, a comfort, even a way of life. But this beloved brew is facing a very uncertain future. Here's why. Around 60% of wild coffee species are at risk of extinction. And even the coffee we drink every day, mostly made from Arabica beans, is extremely vulnerable. Arabica coffee is notoriously picky. It grows best at high elevations with stable temperatures and the right mix of humidity and rainfall. But with climate change, those ideal conditions are becoming harder and harder to find. In fact, scientists estimate that by 2050, up to half of the land currently suitable for growing Arabica could become completely unusable. That's not all. Coffee plants are increasingly under attack from pests and diseases, like the coffee leaf rust fungus, which has already devastated plantations in Latin America. And warmer temperatures only help these pests spread faster and survive longer. It's not just an environmental issue, it's also a human one. Millions of farmers in developing countries rely on coffee for their livelihood. If coffee production drops, prices will spike, small farmers could be pushed into poverty, and global supply chains could be thrown into chaos. Now, some scientists are trying to save coffee by developing hardier hybrid plants, rediscovering wild coffee species that are more resilient, or even growing coffee in laboratories. But these solutions take time. And coffee demand is growing faster than the solutions can be rolled out. So if you're sipping a hot cup right now, enjoy it, because if we don't act fast, the world's most popular beverage might one day become an endangered luxury. So, what does it all mean? Bananas, chocolate, coffee. These aren't just tasty treats. They're global staples tied to our memories, our cultures, and the livelihoods of millions of people. But behind their familiar flavors is a fragile system, one increasingly threatened by climate change, disease, and human activity. The truth is, food isn't as permanent as it seems. What's on our plates today might not be there tomorrow. But this isn't just a story of doom. It's a wake-up call. Scientists, farmers, and even consumers like you are part of the solution. Supporting sustainable farming, reducing waste, and staying informed can help protect the future of our food, because at the end of the day, saving what we love starts with knowing what's at stake. Thanks for watching, and if you learned something new, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos that dive deep into the stories hidden in everyday things. Until next time, stay curious.